Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. I'm Luke Gregory and here's what's coming up today. Luton play Reading twice in a couple of weeks and this time managed to get the victory and through to the FA Cup fourth round. Today we discuss the win in more detail, take a look at the starting 11 and we also take a look at Gabriel. Osho made his Luton debut against his former club. How did he get onto there for the weekend? And we're also going to answer your Instagram questions, plenty more. And as lockdown still continues around the country, Batara's joined us on Zoom. I've got Dave with me. How are you both? Evening?
Evening. Happy New Year. First one of the year, isn't it?
It's the first one of the year.
It feels like ages ago since we've done this.
Yeah.
It does feel like a while since our last podcast, and I think we are in the stage of Happy New Year still, aren't we? So Happy New Year, Batara. How are you?
Happy New Year, gents. So are we?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're good. It was a nice to get back to watching Luton after that QPR game was postponed the other Saturday. I kind of felt like we missed it for a week, didn't we? Had nothing on.
Yeah, it took away some of the stress of the weekend. You miss football every day? Is that what you just said?
Mate, I miss it all the time, yeah. Even a few days without football. But gets to everyone, doesn't it? Something to do, especially when lockdowns or this sort of shite going on at the moment. Just want something to do, something to watch. But there we go.
And it was nice then just on Saturday to have the football back again. And now we're looking at two more games this week. Obviously QPR midweek and Bournemouth at the weekend. It's going to be a good one. And also this podcast, as we're currently doing it, the FA Cup draw is going on. So I'll keep you updated on that and who we get.
They're drawing round 4 and 5.
4 and 5 today.
So potentially we're going to think about who do we want in the quarterfinals.
Well, anyone. To be honest, is there any? I don't know how much money there is in the FA Cup anymore. But if you want, lads, I've got live updates here of the screen. So
you've got it as well.
Oh, yes, mate. Keep it up to date.
Well, just let us know. Let us know when we come out the hat, and we'll discuss it. Let's get in some 3-word reviews with the Reading win. Reece says strength and depth. Leanne says Bree looked good. Rob said good first half. Tim says goals wins games. Scott says Danny Hilton miss. Andrew Sluger goalkeeping masterclass. Carl says need a finisher. Producer Jacob, he gave us a 3-word review this time around. He said crying Reading fans.
Well done, Jacob.
Sluger did very well though, didn't he, at the weekend? That's the one that stands out for me. I think he's won us that game Saturday, Sluger.
Well, without him, we lost. Without him, we would have lost. He made some crucial saves. He just played. He was my man of the match. I don't understand why the club didn't even nominate him for man of the match. 100% man of the match for me, without a shadow of a doubt.
Strange. Yeah, he's brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really good.
Best player in the park.
Isn't that great to say about him as well? That he was absolutely brilliant. It doesn't matter who you're playing. He had to stop those shots, and we've got to be thankful that Reading weren't very good at finishing, but he was outstanding in goal. So I like that. Good first half. Yeah, strength in depth is another one, isn't it? It's good to see that we've got that in our reserve team.
Yeah. And I think with the whole game, you look at it and we made changes. Like Reading have boasted about how they've made loads of changes and stuff to their team and they're playing their academy and their youngsters. But we still had 9 changes. And I think the We Are Luton Town Twitter page worked out the average cost of their team versus our team. Their team was like worth 12 mil and ours was worth like 2 mil. So it just goes there sitting there bragging about, their team being youth and academy and all this. At the end of the day, they've still got a bit of money in that squad, and
yeah, I think beside the point, whether if they paid £12.5 million for their academy players, how are we meant to justify putting older players out against them? You can't. You only can beat the people you put in front of you, and if you're not going to be respectful to the FA Cup in that regard, then that's your loss. However, having said that, I appreciate the fixture pile up, so I can understand why they prioritise now. However, this is an ideal opportunity to progress in the FA Cup because a lot of the stronger teams will put out their weaker sides until it gets later on in the competition because they have such a busy schedule.
When you look at the starting 11 then, Batara, what were your first impressions? Were you happy with the changes? Were you expecting maybe more changes?
No, to be honest, I was quite happy with the team. I mean, let's face it, like you said about fixture pile up and whatever else, we knew he was going to change it right up. But I was quite shocked about Osho being recalled and put in a squad. I didn't think he'd be in there. But look, I mean, you've got the squad, you need to rotate it. I think every team's doing it at the moment. I think we'd be stupid not to do it. So, yeah, I was happy with it. But at the same time, I wasn't as concerned. If that was a league game, you'd be concerned, but clearly. But it's the FA Cup, don't get it wrong. It's a great competition to be in or try and progress in. But I was still confident with that team, weirdly enough. I don't know how many
I think I was confident with that.
Boys, but yeah, it was. I thought we had enough.
And Galloway making his first start in 14 months, which was good to see, wasn't it? Do you reckon there's much of a future for Galloway at the club? Do you reckon there is a way for him to get himself back in around the first team?
Well, I'm sure if he pulls his socks up and maybe goes out on loan, like they've been talking about him. But I think it all depends on how he produces, if he goes out on loan, and it's up to him really, isn't it, as well? It's not just us, but I can't see much of a future. I think maybe backup, left back.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, you've got Norton Davis going back into the season.
Well, we've got Norton Davis and Potts at the moment, haven't we? It is looking like a bit of a tough ask to get him in and around that squad. But like you said, you never know really, do you? You never know.
Of course.
Looking at the game as a whole then, Luton made a really good, quite a good start to the game. Control possession. We looked good, didn't we? It just looked like a nice Luton home game where we looked in control.
Oh yeah, first half.
First half, yeah. I'd agree. First half we played really well. I thought we was quick with the ball, we passed well. We backed each other up quite a bit, and it's quite disappointing. You know, did we create, how many chances did we create first half? Don't even remember, if I'm honest.
We had a couple, didn't we? Nothing like clear cut, was there?
No, there's a lot of triangles in and around the edge area on the wing positions, but not too much going on. But look, I mean, just to dominate the ball for large periods of the first half was nice to see, to control. But then I just can't understand what happened in the second half. I mean, I understand obviously things change and whatever else, and it's just like, well, like Jamie said, the momentum and all that sort of stuff just kept giving the ball away. But no, look, I mean, overall, I'm not concerned about it.
Can we interrupt you, Bataro?
Yeah, because here comes our draw.
Luton have just been drawn away to Chelsea in the FA Cup fourth round.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, I can't even fucking go. Oh, mate.
That's kind of gutting, really, isn't it?
Yep.
Chelsea away in the FA Cup fourth round, and we can't go.
Can you hear the buzzing?
Oh, mate.
The tweets are coming in. Everyone's buzzing with that. Although buzzing, we can't go.
Oh, yeah. That's brilliant. But, oh, mate, I know a few Chelsea fans as well. I was saying to them, imagine we get you to the next round. It's like, yeah, we'll beat you about 7 or 8-0, mate. Fuck it off.
That's a good one.
Well, that's potential for television, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Oh, yeah, massive. That's going to be a massive game.
I love it.
That's going to be a Monday night one, hopefully.
Chelsea v Luton. Let's unplug the phone now because that's going to keep vibrating. Everyone's buzzing with that. Anyway, back to the Reading game from the weekend, which has now seen us get this Chelsea tie. The goal came from George Moncur. Really disappointed for him not to do our little celebration that we spoke to him about on the Christmas podcast, but it is what it is. Great finish, weren't it? Great cross, great finish. And I think this goal, it looks harder than it was. Do you not think, to finish that? That's a tough finish, and he's made it look really easy.
Oh, right. He made it look easier than it was, you meant, not harder than it was.
That's yes, it's not an easy finish. It's hard.
Right, okay. I thought
it made it look easy.
I thought you said he made it look harder than it was. I thought the move was brilliant. I thought the cross was great. Actually, I did notice when I was watching it back on Quest, the lady that was doing the voiceover said it was a miss kick or something as a cross, which was he sort of didn't. She said that he didn't mean to cross it like that. Well, I think he bloody well did. But
yeah, of course he did. Looked it up and over, didn't he, to the back post?
100%. But that's not what they said. But the actual finish was fantastic. Brilliant, in fact.
Unreal, mate. Technique, yeah. The concentration. I mean, when people sit there and go, oh, yeah, but look how much time he's got. They're the harder ones.
Time or not, he finished it really well. It was a really good strike into the goal. And like you said, Luke, I'm a bit disappointed he didn't go over to the corner flag and
Do his little dart celebration.
Get the dart celebration up. But, it's what you like to see from Monker, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think when you look at that goal, like you've just said, that cross from Bree, I've seen someone say that, about him not meaning the cross. But for me, I think it's a great cross. Monker's had to watch that ball come out of the sky. He's had to really concentrate on that finish. Perfect into the bottom corner.
Meaning it or not, you put it into the danger area like that, you're going to get a chance. If you don't mean it, you miss kick it, whatever, it doesn't matter. If it goes into that area, there could be a chance for us to score. And on that game, he did, and it was brilliant.
I thought it was a brilliant cross, personally.
Yeah.
I think it was just the fact that it was obviously up in the air. He's volleyed it in, straight over. Do you know what I mean? He's looped it over to the back sticks, and then bang, Monker's there. Great goal. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you might not mean to put it directly on Monker's foot, but you mean to put it in that area. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So
And he
if
was there
anyone
to
says
tap
that's
in.
mishit, I disagree with that. I highly disagree with that.
And into the second half we go. Producer Jacob tweeted on the day that was the chance Danny Hilton was begging for, was that one that came to him, and he kind of like, does he get his footing wrong? Does he get caught in two minds? But he just needs to try and first time that and just get a shot away, doesn't he, in that situation?
Yeah, maybe so. But at the same time, the overall performance of Danny Hilton, I was quite impressed with. I thought his hold-up play was brilliant. I thought his defensive work was brilliant. I thought everything about his game was brilliant, apart from where's the finish. But look, will it ever come? I'm sure it will. Don't know about you boys. What do you reckon? Do you think he'll score this season?
I would hope if he gets another chance, he will. However, if you continue to miss the chances, then if your manager sees you just as a striker and not as the other parts of his game, then he's not going to get on, is he? He's not going to start. But then you could say the same about Collins. Then Collins pops up with a hat-trick, So
yeah, but how many times are we going to say this about Hilton on the podcast? Because I feel like we say it a lot, and we say he just needs more game time. He had a full 90 on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, but at the same time, though, he might have the full 90 of the weekend and whatever else, or he might not get on a score sheet. But look at what else he does for the team. If someone else is scoring the goals and he's not, but he's doing like major parts of the build-up, then
But is he?
I'm happy with that.
Is he at the moment doing that?
Well, I thought Saturday was brilliant, mate.
I think I would say the old adage is this: that if you've got a striker that's recognised by the opposition as someone who may be a danger, such as like a Steve Howard, like Danny Hilton, like Collins, whoever, Mickey Arford, they seem to sort of target that guy, and it frees up someone else sometimes. So maybe that's how it works at the moment. And if you're not in the middle of the goal, if you're not in the middle of the box, Collins isn't going to get a goal, is he? He's not going to strike from long range, is he?
You mean Hilton?
Yeah, I meant Hilton. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hang on, Dave, what did you ask me earlier? Have you been drinking, Bataro?
Well, yes, I'm on some drink.
Well, I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe Hilton could get some game time in the Chelsea tie if we're just going to rotate the squad again or something. I don't know, but we'll see.
But what's it going to take for people to be
needs to
encouraged by him?
score.
He needs to score.
needs
But
to
how
score.
many? 1, 2, every week, every time he goes on the pitch?
At the moment, I don't think he offers us a lot going forward, personally. I think, look, sentimentally, everyone loves Danny Hilton. But when you really look at what we need in the Championship right now, is he the answer? Like, we love him, but you hate to say it, probably not. If we're chasing a goal,
maybe not,
if we're
but
1-0
I'm sure-
down away at Bournemouth at the weekend and we need a goal and we're bringing on Danny Hilton, like, none of me's getting like, wow, I'm getting excited now.
No.
Really are you? You just like, oh, cool. Just what?
Yeah, no, I understand, but at the same time, I do think he offers some other sort of, options within the game. But can I just say as well,
Go for
Sam Nombe, he was brilliant the other day. Absolutely brilliant, mate.
He's a young lad and he's learning still, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, he looks like a promising talent, doesn't he?
I think again he's one for the future, isn't he? Get him on occasionally, and then he has a great game, scores a couple, gives him more confidence. Definitely one for the future, and one that we are surely going to convert that purchase option on. I would have thought.
100. You've got to.
And then, sorry, after the Hilton chance, it kind of just went a bit one way, didn't it? And towards Reading and their attacking play. And then down to Sluga, he pulled off a couple of really good double saves. Reading hit the bar, twice, I think? Twice, maybe 3 times. And
The double save was outstanding, but it seemed to every time they got possession and went forward, they were creating chances. Was that because we were a little bit poor then second half defending? Didn't think we did that brilliantly. At times.
Maybe lack of fitness as well, because some of them players haven't really played a lot, have they, either?
No, exactly.
But look, I mean, but at the same time, as we said about Sluga earlier, he was obviously the standout player the other day. He, a few times late at the bar, or a couple of times, sorry. I think it was maybe down at Sluga, rushing out, putting them off, spreading his body. Do you know what I mean? He made them go high.
I mean, there was a couple of wide open goals they missed as well. Wide open. So, as much as we can say our keeper was fantastic and we can't take nothing away from him, but if they'd have been a bit more potent, if they'd have had their first team out, maybe we'd have taken a right bash in there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Sluga, it's just nice to watch a Luton game now and kind of have that confidence with him. And not, I remember there's, times under Graham Jones and when we were on a bit of a bad run where you could feel the nerves when Sluga was on the ball or, he was coming out to try and catch a cross or a corner. But now I just feel kind of confident when Sluga's in goal. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, can I just update you on the FA Cup draw? Because if we beat Chelsea, which we will do, of course.
Yep.
We got Barnsley or Norwich away.
That sucks, I know.
Easy.
Rubbish.
Dream on, everyone. Dream on. Keep it while it's there.
Dave, come on, mate. You're going to win the FA Cup this year.
Well, like I said earlier, this is a brilliant time to play people like Chelsea when they're not going to put out their strongest team.
They put out a pretty strong team at the weekend against Morecambe.
Yeah, they're going to want the Champions League more than us.
It's only Morecambe, isn't it? I mean, was it
imagine if we did Chelsea.
Well, it'd be on the telly, wouldn't it? Okay, so what was the question
Back
again?
to Sluga. Isn't it nice to feel really confident in your goalkeeper now, especially after the start he had to his Luton's career?
The confidence begins there, doesn't it? When you've got a team, if you feel that he's not going to concede or he's going to concede a few, very few, then that's the confidence builder for the rest of the whole team. The defence then are confident that they don't have to, panic too much because they've got a good keeper behind them. The midfield then can push on. They don't have to come back as much. So, it opens up everything. So it starts there, doesn't it, I think? It's great to see him have some confidence. And some of the good teams that we've had in the past has always had a dominant keeper in it.
And Reading probably should have scored at the very end, shouldn't they? They got through. And that's the one you said, Bataro. Sluga's come out and made himself big.
Oh, was that not a foul on Danny Hilton, though?
Oh, mate, that's 100% a foul. I have no idea
disgusting, wasn't it?
How the referee missed that.
Oh, straight away, I was screaming. I'm sure you boys were as well. I'm sitting there going, hang on a minute. Surely not. You see the replay, it looks worse every time you see it. I mean, you think, how can a referee miss that?
Yeah.
You're a paid professional referee and you're doing that. You're shit. Do you know what I mean? Really, it's awful. You can't be doing that.
It weren't great, was it?
He just waves it on like, no foul. He's got the ball. Bollocks, mate. No, he didn't.
But there's a disadvantage again of the empty stadiums because if, it wouldn't have been full up, I wouldn't have thought. But if it had been full and that challenge happens and there's that roar from the crowd as well, it'll make the referee look harder. That's what I feel. I feel there's nothing there to sway his opinion at all apart from a couple of shouts from the bench. And the other thing you've noticed when there's no crowds in is that if a player goes down, you hear him scream, it'll probably be heard more by the referee than it would be when there's a full crowd in. So he makes decisions based on that sometimes.
So Sluga made that good rush out to make himself big, and then they missed the rebound as well, which I thought was funny. And overall, would you say it's a deserved win into the next round?
Every win's a deserved win.
That's it.
Every win. I think I was. To be fair, Batara, I was relieved that the game ended after 90 minutes because I don't know if I could have faced another half hour in penalties. I generally don't. It would have. I think I said to my mates at the time, you can just see what's going to come here. We're going to defend deep towards the end, and they're going to get a 90+ equaliser. And I didn't want that.
It was nearly right.
Nearly right, but at the end of the day, when is the win not deserved?
Exactly. Like, let's face it as well. We owe them. We do. We owe them. They do us in the league every frigging time, don't they? So
yeah, I mean
that's fine. We'll take that cup double.
Yeah, they're making a big deal about playing the boys, but you can only beat who's in front of you. So good on them.
Well, you think the two times we've beaten Reading in the cup this season is followed by a tie at home to Manchester United and a tie away at Chelsea. That's two pretty good prizes for beating Reading twice.
Yeah, but we can't be there, and that's the most
sorry, I was
disappointing.
confused then. So I'm sitting there going, Jesus. I thought you said something else then. Oh dear.
Imagine,
Yeah,
I don't want to be like a downer on everyone listening to this podcast, but this time last year, when COVID really wasn't a thing in England, if you would have said this time next year, you'd have had Watford away, Manchester United at home, Chelsea away, you would have been like loving life. Then if you would have told you can't go to any of them, you'd have been gutted, and we are just all kind of gutted about it, aren't we?
Yeah, massively, mate. This
And-
Chelsea one, I'll be honest, I'm really, really disappointed about this because I've been wanting Chelsea away for years. I've been having dreams about it, weirdly enough, in the last couple of years. I mean, saying to people, this happens. Do you know what I mean? I work with a Chelsea fan. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad.
Think of that 8,000 behind that goal.
It would have been fun. It would have definitely been fun.
It's
However,
typical, isn't it? We get good draws this season. And
The two of the best draws we've had in years.
yeah,
oh, mate, never mind, eh?
genuinely, if that's not picked for TV, well, obviously they're going to pick the Man U game, aren't they?
Normally Chelsea get picked, don't they? Just on that tie then, can we do it? Chelsea away?
Yeah, of course we can. We can do anyone, mate. Done Reading.
Do you know the FA Cup is so strange at times? It's definitely a different competition than it used to be. You know, as much as you want to talk up the magic of the FA Cup, it's different. But no one gave us an ounce of hope when we went to Norwich when we were in the non-league and we won there. We've beaten ties in the past where we played really well. So if we go out with the right attitude, the right team, why can't we just pull off a surprise? Catch them on an off
And do you know
day.
what? Even if we don't win and we played well, we'll still be proud, won't we?
Catch them
As long
on
as
an
they
off
give it
day.
a-
I mean,
I
all
mean-
the players are going to want to beat Chelsea, aren't they?
Yeah.
All
And
the
it's a good
players.
experience for the players as well to play against, you know, the quality Chelsea are going to have. For me, I only see that as a positive for us going forward.
Well, as long as we do ourselves proud and we come away from that game, if we don't win, we give it a right good go and we haven't taken a pasting, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be good. Exciting times. I think that's meant to be played in around 12 days' time, potentially. So
Ooh, lovely.
it's not that far
Yeah,
away.
Imagine, boys, just before we move on, imagine getting to the final and not being able to go. Now, that would be horrendous.
Yeah, that would be terrible. I don't think we'll have any problems about thinking about that, though.
Well, you know,
yeah.
mark my words.
We wanted to look at Gabriel Osho today. We've recalled him. He played against his former club at the weekend. What did you make of his performance, Osho at the back?
Decent, composed.
Well, you already said that, haven't you? You already said that he played really well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought his composure was brilliant. I mean, he attacked everything as well. He had the points proved, didn't he, coming from Reading?
Yeah.
But I was quite impressed with him considering he hasn't played a lot of football recently. Good on him. I think looking at him, he looks quite athletic. He looks like he can move, so why not? I think give it another sort of few months or so. End of the season, he might get a shout in. But yeah.
One thing I've noticed about Osho, and I don't know if you guys have seen on social media any of his like interviews and stuff, but he always just comes across as like a really down-to-earth guy who's just like wants to enjoy his football. Like I think he did post-match at Luton the other day, and he had such a big smile on his face, and he was just so happy to be in around a starting 11 again. And it's just
Good.
the kind of character you want at the club, isn't it?
Always helps when you're confident and you enjoy what you're doing and you enjoy the team you're playing with. The problem you have is if he doesn't get more game time, then he's not going to want to stay, is he? So he had a lot to prove to getting on that pitch on the weekend. He had
He's
a lot
still
to
a
prove.
young boy.
Yeah,
How old is he?
absolutely.
22?
And he was highly rated by Reading. Like, let's not forget that Reading didn't want him to leave, but he wanted to go.
But he wanted to go because he wasn't getting first team at Reading, right?
I assume so.
And so if he's not getting first team at Luton, then he'll want to go.
He's been with us for like one game.
I'm just saying.
There's still time.
The thing is, as well, isn't he an out right back that can play centre back as well?
I think he might be. Do you think with like Osho potentially then coming in more, is there a place for him in that starting 11? Could this be the start of maybe losing Sonny or Pearson, do you reckon?
Maybe, not Sonny. Yeah.
I was just watching your face there, Vitaro. I'm thinking, oh, don't cry now. Don't
The
cry.
only reason I said Bradley was because I've seen people on social media say there's no reason why he couldn't move up to a bigger club.
Oh yeah, mate. I've been saying this for what, 2 years? Just saying. But it's true, of course. But look, maybe. You know, I don't know. No one can predict it, can they? So you never know. But it's just a very good backup, and when a player like that, who is highly rated from obviously Reading, whoever else. You want to snap these players up and you want to progress them. If he's young enough, do you know what I mean? But you never know. I mean, football changes every single season, doesn't it? You never know.
If we have any intentions of challenging to go to the next league up at some point in the next few years, it's the younger people you want in, develop them and make them better. And if we can keep players like that coming through the team, we'll do well. And I think he's probably, is he part of it? Possibly, yes. That's what I would say.
I just look at someone like Osho as a signing. I think the way he plays, he's like I said, he's athletic. He can move. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and you want players like that. You don't want brick. Do you know what I mean? You don't want massive lumps like refrigerators that you can't move. I mean, sometimes it's handy in like a header or a tackle, but you want someone. Yeah. I mean, this day and age, football is more technical from the back. Would you not agree? It's
totally 100%. Different. 100% from that, straight away from the goal kicks when they don't go out the area anymore. You've got to be right on the ball. You've got to be right with it, and you've got to have that technical ability. Whereas in the past, it would be hoofs up, wouldn't it? Or if you played out to the wide and they'd hoof it up.
Don't get it wrong. I cannot stand playing out from the back like that stupid fucking football inside the box. Cannot stand it. But I know it's how football's gone. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, absolutely. How it's gone.
And what you said about Osho being one for the future, the way I look at it is that if we do want to carry on competing, we've got to get together a bit of a model where we, like Batara, you said, snap up these young players, develop them, and then who knows, 2 years, Osho could be worth 10, 12, 13 mil. Yeah. You sell them and you go again, and you just start making that profit year on year, and then you can just start building a good squad to challenge in this league.
I mean, like another thing as well, recalling Peter Kioso.
Yeah.
Mate, I am so excited at the fact we recalled him. I'm not too sure he'll play him. He might go back out. Nathan Jones is going to look at him. But mate, the guy's unreal. I love Kioso. I'd love to get him back in, to get him in the first team. He's brilliant.
He's had raving reviews, hasn't he? Yeah. Well, here's what you guys said about Gabriel Osho from the weekend. Grant said he looked comfortable on the ball. Doubt if he'll start for a while, bearing injuries or suspensions. Ross says, looked like a great centre-back. Unfortunately, can't see him getting in front of Lockyer, Bradley or Pearson unless an injury comes up. Jason says he did okay. It's hard to judge as Reading's experienced striker Baldock played on Potts. Looked a decent passer of the ball and attack it well in the air. James says, unexpected performance, to be honest. Think he has so much more to offer. Needs a couple of games now. Definitely an FA Cup starter. Do you agree with that one?
Yeah, of course. Well, you've got to start him with something, haven't you? So, obviously, like I said, squad rotation is key this season. So, yeah, of course.
Can you imagine the squad rotation?
A bit more and whatever else. You never know. He might take someone's place as centre half. So, look, could happen.
Well, barring injuries, I'd be very surprised if we don't play a strong team against Chelsea. So, I'd like to see him get more chances, but like we said, he's one to develop and make better. And it's going to depend on how the others perform, whether he gets in the team regularly, isn't it?
Kieran says, would start him for sure, better than what we've already got, which is a big statement to make.
That's a very strong statement to make, isn't it? Look at your face, Pataro. Look at your face.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit... No, fair enough. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. But...
Could you see him in a back three with like Lockyer and Bradley?
Yeah, maybe. Well, the back three, yeah. But if it was referring to maybe the two that we mainly play, I don't know about that. But you never know. Look, I've not seen enough of him. We have to see more of him. So let's.
I also think that when you watch him and you're not watching live, you can't see how much he does when you can't see him in the picture, if that makes sense, on the TV. So when you're at the game, you can see how he controls or how he plays the game, and you don't get that when you're watching on television, because they concentrate on where the ball is rather than the whole pitch. When you're there, you're looking across the defence, you're looking to see what your defender's running, and I'm sure he's played very well in that respect.
Well, let's move on to some questions today from Twitter and Instagram. James says, what are your opinions on us then recalling Kioso and Osho? I think we've kind of touched on it, but Kioso was an odd one, because Jones did say the other day he was happy for him to stay at Bolton.
It'd be good for his confidence if he did stay. I mean, what's he on? He's probably on about 6 assists and about 2 or 3 goals, isn't he?
I think he's got 3 goals, yeah.
He's been really good there, isn't he? So why wouldn't you bring him back if he was struggling to score, or we're struggling? Why not?
He's team of the year, isn't he? In League Two, if he stays there. So
I wouldn't say we've brought him back though because we're struggling to score. I wouldn't say that's.
No, but what they brought him back for then? So have a look at him.
Backup cover at right back, probably.
Yeah, but he's been bombing down the line. He's been creating chances.
I'll be honest. I think he's as good as what we've got at the club as well. I really think that. I've seen him play quite a bit. even a few years back. But look, you never know. Like I say, a bit like we said about Osho, you never know until you see more of him. But for me, Kyoso, he's a dogs.
I like it.
And his performances have been good where he's been on loan. So why not?
Cam says, do you think we'll make any signings in the January transfer window?
I don't know. Possibly not, no.
Didn't Jones say they would do it if well, he always says it's done. If the right one becomes available, he said he'll do it. But
they must have a list. They must have a list of people that possibly they'd like to bring in. However, I genuinely don't see it at the moment.
No, I don't either.
And let's be honest as well, most of the transfer business is done in the last couple of days, isn't it, in January, in the January transfer window?
Yeah.
So just wait and see.
You never know. Might be have a player go the other way. So let's see.
Well, you're going to get loads of fans wanting buy a striker, buy a striker, buy a striker. Well, I don't think we'll be buying anyone. If anything, we'll be loaning people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll be purchasing anyone at this stage.
it's always tough to get a striker in a January transfer window, isn't it? Especially one that's going to score you goals. It's going to come at a cost.
True. But then if you're going to buy
think
someone, you're going to go lower league to get that striker. If you're going to loan someone, you can afford to go up to the Premier League and say, have you got a striker we can borrow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's difference of opinion, isn't it? Do you want to purchase somebody? Then you might have to, like you say, value-wise, you have to go down a couple of divisions. If you're going to just take someone on loan, a Premier League team is going to be keen to get some match experience for their players.
What were you going to say, Batara?
I can't remember now, mate.
Forgot. Brilliant. Gaz
I
says...
started talking and I was like, ooh.
Gaz asks, what's the one thing you'd want to see at Power Courts?
That's easy. Me.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for this bloody stadium to be built since I first started going, and I'll be gutted if I'm not there to see it built.
Don't get miserable.
Well, I'm not getting miserable, but me. That's what I want to see.
It's not all about you, David. All right.
Batara, what would you like to see at Power Court? If you could have anything at Power Court, what would you like to see?
Well, first things first. Similar to what Dave said, but everyone to be there because I'm not selfish.
Very kind.
I didn't mean it like that.
I'd just like to see
Champions League football.
Why not?
There.
Why not?
Trophy or something. I don't know. Let's get some investment. Let's do everything. Let's go. Fucking sky's the limit, man. Let's go.
Do you know, like when you go to these newer stadiums, and some of them you go in that box as you walk underneath the stadium, they're just an empty concrete box, basically. I'd like it to be more styled in the same way, but obviously not to the same extent, because I'm just going to mention Tottenham Stadium, which when you walked into the bar areas there, it's like you're in a proper pub, proper area. Whereas, and I didn't feel when I was at that stadium that, I was at a football stadium. I thought I was out having a beer or two. I'd like somewhere at Power Court where you can go and socialise before the game and then socialise after the game. And that way, the club will max out on money. I'll max out on alcohol. Don't have to come home so early.
Them days are going to be good. We can get back to games, aren't they?
Can't wait for that in another 5-10 years. You know what I mean? But let's hope it's next season we get back to at least Kenilworth Road anyway.
Karen says, Galloway had a decent game. Would you give him a few games in the league? We kind of touched on it, didn't we?
Well, look, we know what quality, what type of player he is and the quality he has had in the past. But he's had a serious injury as well. You don't know. Look, has he recovered? Is he playing his best foot? Has he found his level? I don't know. No one knows. Like yet again, we said, let's see him for a few more games first. Maybe give him a little cup run. Well, maybe not.
Well, maybe not
Chelsea.
now. No.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe, like I said, Jonesy said he's going to put him out on loan. So let's put him out on loan first. See how he does.
But if he goes out on loan, he gets those more games. He becomes better, and then you pull him back and you get him on again. You're developing your squad. That's what we're doing. We're keeping the squad fit by letting them out going on loan. You're pulling them back because they're getting better. Why not? Why not?
And Max says, out of all the games you've watched, which player would you think would be a great signing for us?
Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo. Class.
All right, let's put it down to every Luton game we've watched this season on the opposition. If you could take a player from an opposition team, who would you take?
God, there's fucking so many.
There is so many, isn't there?
Well, you can discount one team totally, so that's done.
Yeah, and take any Watford players.
No, well, do you know what? We discussed this briefly earlier. Would we not go and just raid Luke's employers?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, the way that Tony's on form, scoring all the time.
One player from watching Brentford at the moment every week is Josh Da Silva. If you could take him at Luton, my God, what a player you'd have on your hands. Apparently, he was close to joining Luton before Brentford. I didn't even know this, but I was told.
As well.
But the thing is, as we develop as a club, as we build the new stadium, we'll get those opportunities to sign those sort of players, because you'll get a better sponsorship, you'll have more people involved. There'll be the possibility of making the promised land as far as an investor is concerned. So, you'll get those opportunities.
Let's hope for the future that we make some investments like that. And, who knows what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
Maybe Champions League football at Power Court is a reality, Batara. What are you going to say?
I was about to say, thinking of one player, Buendia.
Yes.
Norwich. Unreal.
He looked great the couple of times I've seen him this season. What a player.
Insane.
But you know what? I think there's a lot of clubs at the top of the table would look at us and say, I'll take that Dewsbury Hall. So I think we're very lucky to have a player like that in our team. Because I think he walks into any team in the Championship, Dewsbury Hall. Don't know about you guys.
Dewsbury Hall, easily.
I think he's pretty big level already.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah. He's been class. Well, that's all we got time for today. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Get us on YouTube and socials, Owen the Town. And yeah, QPR coming up tonight. It's going to be a big game.
Please, can we beat QPR?
Please beat QPR. Bournemouth away at the weekend, and we'll be back next week to discuss everything Bournemouth. So have a good week. Come on, you Gatters.
Hate QPR.
And we'll see you next week.